Good morning, everyone. If you want to truly understand the spirit of the class of 2026, don't look at our transcripts or trophies. Look at the way we rally together and support each other through it all. This deep connection has become an anchor, ensuring that no matter how far away we travel from this campus, we will forever know where we belong. It feels like nothing could have truly prepared us for this moment. As I thought about what to write, my mind kept returning to the smaller moments, the intense hacky sacking and spikeball games in the quad, us fighting tooth and nail with each other to get a good seed during our Friday night football games, the inside jokes that would take too long to explain to anyone who wasn't there. The moments that felt completely ordinary at the time somehow became the moments we would be holding on to the most. Every one of us grew up here, and I mean it in the most literal sense. No matter when you joined the Latin community, we all came in as kids who were uncertain and unprepared. However, somewhere between then and now, in the middle of all of our chaos and growth, we became who we are. I'm so grateful this campus was the backdrop for our best and hardest moments, and that the people sitting beside you were the constant figures who walked through it all with you. There is something about shared experiences on this campus that bond us in unique ways that is almost impossible to describe. But we don't have to describe it. We lived it. And that is something no one outside of this room will understand the way that we do. Today is the last page of a chapter we have been writing together for years. And it's okay to sit in that for a moment, to feel the weight of it and to let it mean something, because it does. But before I conclude, I would like to thank our families, teachers, administrators, and staff for making this experience so special. You shaped the years that shaped us, and as we step forward from here, we take a piece of each of you with us. Without further ado, welcome everyone, and let us celebrate the class of 2026.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rael Gorelick. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Charlotte Latin, welcome to Graduation 2026. I've been dreading this speech since I originally agreed to serve as board chair. Speaking in front of this many people is challenging enough. To do it at your own son's graduation, that's overwhelming. So please bear with me. I'll try to keep it brief, as much for me as for you. As I represent the board and the broader Latin community in delivering some parting advice, this one comes from the heart. Grads of 2026, you've earned this Latin diploma. What I've witnessed in Spear and what I've learned from him tells me this is a very special place. You've learned discipline, you've learned integrity, you've learned how to be honorable and honest, to value people simply for who they are, and to trust them. You found mentors in your teachers, mentors to guide you and stand beside you. You know how to work hard, how to ask questions, to fail, and to try again. Latin wrestling has been a big part of the lives of my family. And at the center of wrestling, painted on the wall for everyone to see, is a quote that each Latin wrestler with a Letterman jacket knows by heart. This quote is from Teddy Roosevelt, and it's at the core of Charlotte Latin values. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. As Latin graduates, you are ready to be in that arena, to strive valiantly. The challenge for a student that can do anything is to limit your options, to focus, to find your thing. Greatness comes from committing yourself fully to something that matters. And this is a tough world that we live in, a world that needs you, Latin leaders. Class of 2026, I challenge you. Find your worthy cause and dare greatly. I'd like to invite Mrs. Vinesti to the podium to present the awards.
Good morning. Seniors, there's a saying that you should leave a place better than you find it. And I would like to just say that Charlotte Latin is a better place because you have walked our hallways, and we are so, so grateful to you. The Senior English Award. This year, the English department presents its annual award to a student who is a naturally talented and enthusiastic reader, writer, and thinker. A deeply analytical mind allows the student to unlock nuanced, sophisticated ideas within literature and express them with ease. She brings a lightness of spirit to class each day and would never seek to dominate a discussion, preferring instead to let her peers' ideas bubble to the surface so she can then skillfully build on them. She constructs arguments like delicate spider webs, weaving newly presented, expertly chosen evidence alongside her existing schema of knowledge and meticulously crafting the phrasing until the final product is both strong and elegant. Her passion for engineering amplifies her strengths in English class, giving her the tenacity she needs to persist through moments when she considers throwing it all out, and a true innovator's refusal to settle for obvious or even previously argued ideas. Whether in the Fab Lab, in an essay, or in the classroom, she is driven to create things that work, that are better than what came before, and that are beautifully one of a kind. The rare alchemy of art and science that occurs in her mind will continue to distinguish her at MIT. It is with great admiration that the English department presents its award to Angelina Yang. The recipient of this year's Senior History Award is an academic powerhouse who displays all the hallmarks of superior intellect, academic drive, and respect for the process of learning. Combined with these academic talents, she also has a delightfully cheerful, curious, and grateful attitude when she arrives in class each day. Within that sunny exterior lies a dynamic brain with a penchant for the most advanced scholarship. Her ability to articulate complex ideas and information with both the spoken and written word is unsurpassed. Her compositions are a pleasure to read, as the reader can deeply appreciate her thorough preparation and her thoughtful mastery of important historical events and ideas. Composed, attentive, and engaged in every class, she strikes the perfect balance between frequent contributions of profound questions and insights in class discussion, while listening carefully to the thoughts of her classmates and never monopolizing the dialogue. Her current AP Modern European History teacher says, the more complex and challenging the topic of discussion, the more sophisticated and impressive her analysis becomes. It is with great pleasure that this year's Senior History Award is presented to, attending Duke University in the fall, Isabel Yang. The Senior Math Award. Each year, the Senior Mathematics Award is presented to a student whose achievement in mathematics reflects not only exceptional ability, but also genuine intellectual curiosity, persistence, and a love of learning. This year's recipient embodies all of these qualities in remarkable ways. For her, mathematics has always been something to explore, question, and deeply understand. She consistently pursues ideas beyond the surface level, often asking questions that anticipate concepts not yet introduced or that lead to richer mathematical conversations. More than once, a brief comment made in class sparked her curiosity enough that she later visited her teacher simply to unpack the deeper why behind it, the kind of intellectual initiative and joy in learning that cannot be taught. But what makes her especially deserving of this award is the way she carries her excellence. She is brilliant without arrogance, deeply driven without seeking attention, and generous in the way she collaborates with and encourages others. Whether in the classroom or as a varsity volleyball setter, she brings leadership, composure, and a confidence that elevates all around her. This fall, she will continue her academic career as a mathematics major at Williams College. It is with great pride and admiration that we announce this year's Mathematics Award recipient, Emily Chow. The Senior Science Award. It will come as no surprise that this year's Senior Science Award winner has an encyclopedic recall of factual information and communicates fluently in the language of mathematics. What distinguishes our awardee, however, are the connections that this student sees between scientific concepts and differing scientific fields. Innately inquisitive, this student has sought out our most challenging science courses, has pursued multiple engineering courses, and completed Fab Academy. Summers, evenings, and weekends presented additional windows of time to study academic passions beyond Charlotte Lattin's curriculum and its walls. Lest we have painted a picture of some machine-like devourer of knowledge, we must explain that we have also seen the empathy and compassion with which this student engages with their peers. During small group activities in the classroom, this student takes the time to answer their partner's questions and has the confidence and humility to acknowledge the limitations of their own understanding. His readiness to collaborate, his desire to learn, and his quest to understand absolutely everything will propel him, his peers, and his professors at Yale University to new heights next fall. We are proud to confer the 2026 Senior Science Award to Connor Cruz. Thank you. The Senior Classical and World Languages Award. This student embodies a deep commitment to curious learning and exceeding expectations with a thirst for cultural mastery. A graduate of the Governor's School for Spanish, he earned the Seal of Biliteracy with working fluency in Spanish and functional fluency in French. Beyond his profound love for Dutch culture, his passion for Argentina and its vibrant traditions further demonstrates his impressive motivation. Daily engagement, professional curiosity, and a warm, inclusive nature define his classroom presence. His upbeat personality and respect for others make him a true leader in any linguistic or social setting. We proudly recognize this Senior Language Award winner who can often be found sharing his love of language or leading others in song. Attending the University of Tennessee in the fall, John Pillett.
Good morning. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. John W. Harris III to the stage. And now it's time for one of my favorite awards, Sonny's Honor. During Sonny's Day this year, the students heard me talk about Sarah Sonny Harris Hutchinson, who graduated from Charlotte Latin on a day like this one back in 1993. Today is a day in her family because Sonny's son, Wills, is graduating with the class of 2026. Sonny's legacy includes the people who knew her and loved her. Even today, however, it reaches people who were never lucky enough to know her personally. Sonny had the best qualities of Charlotte Latin. She was full of enthusiasm for the school and its people. She illuminated everyone around her. She was all about inclusion and bringing people together. That's why her parents created Sonny's Legacy, to honor her memory. Sonny's Legacy includes Sonny's Honor and our school-wide community day, Sonny's Day. But the most important part is Sonny Scholars, the school's premier scholarship program. Sonny Scholarship covers tuition and extracurricular expense for some fantastic students who otherwise wouldn't be able to attend Latin. This transformational scholarship alters lives forever, putting students on track to attend college and succeed afterward. Sonny's Honor goes to the graduating senior who best embodies Sonny's selflessness, empathy, and loyalty. It honors a student who every day shows enthusiasm for the people around them and lifts them up. And it's voted on by the senior class. The class of 2026 knows best who among them has acted as the glue during their time at Charlotte Latin, bringing people together and making sure this collection of extraordinary people is also a special group. Joining me on stage is John O'Harris, Sonny's brother, and a member of the Charlotte Latin class of 1997. It is a privilege to recognize a student for the warmth, kindness, and quiet leadership he brings to the school community each day. The student is known for greeting others with a sincere smile, extending friendship with ease, and making those around him feel valued and included. His joyful spirit is steady and genuine, and his presence has a remarkable way of lifting the mood of any room. He is a source of positivity and encouragement with the school community as a whole and a firm favorite in the halls of our lower school. What distinguishes the student most is his deep respect and care for others. He consistently checks in on classmates, offers encouragement when it is needed, puts the well-being of others before his own. He is empathetic, selfless, and thoughtful in both word and action, embodying the qualities of a loyal friend and an outstanding member of the community. The student's character is evident not only in his kindness, but also in his involvement, his welcoming nature, in his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. He leads through compassion, brings joy to everyday interactions, and reflects the very best of what it means to be a member of the class of 2026. For his generosity of spirit, his unwavering positivity, and the lasting impact he has had on those around him, we are proud to name this year's Sonny's honoree, attending Wofford College in the fall, Walker Somerville. Second honor. Service and Leadership Award. The Service and Leadership Award recognizes the qualities we most want to instill in our students, qualities that speak to the heart of a Latin education. At Latin, we believe leadership stems from a simple but powerful principle, servant leadership. The idea that leadership isn't always positional or flashy or even appreciated and noticed. And yet, the servant leader is essential, a bedrock upon which any flourishing community is built. This year's recipient is the epitome of what it means to serve this community with purpose, integrity, and care. He enters our campus each day as a model student and citizen, illustrating that greatness of mind and goodness of character go hand in hand. This individual often sees students at moments of great challenge, yet does the utmost to ensure others feel seen, valued, and appreciated as members of our community, as people who have something to contribute. A member of the Honor Council since 9th grade, this individual is described by his peers as a good person through and through. He is a person who is fair, just, and dedicated. Whether he is leading the wrestling team on and off the mat or encouraging group momentum on the Honor Council, this individual knows that leading in service to others require great courage and responsibility. I'm proud to present this year's Leadership Service Award, attending the College of William and Mary in the fall, Mac Fletcher. Faculty Appreciation Award. Faculty Appreciation Award is special to the faculty because it focuses on more than the student with the highest GPA, the most points scored, or the longest activity resume. This award goes to a student who has positively shaped the culture of our school and who reminds us why we chose to become educators in the first place. If you've spent any time in the halls and classrooms of Charlotte Latin, you probably already know this student. You know him because he's outgoing, friendly, and possesses a thoughtfulness that makes everyone around him feel appreciated. He is respected and admired by his peers and teachers alike because he brings a positive energy to any learning space. He is deeply and sincerely inquisitive. He is a student who raises his hand to ask one or two thoughtful questions that make us all think a little more and a little different about the topic. He pushes us as teachers to be better at our craft. This young person balances a vibrant, outgoing personality with quiet, thoughtful introspection. Whether he is greeting you with a warm smile in the cafeteria, unpacking the complex topic of interest group influence in politics and AP US government, focusing on being under par for the Latin State Championship golf team, or ensuring that nothing get by him in the soccer goal. He faces the world with curiosity, a contagious kindness, and a genuine and authentic desire to learn. On behalf of the entire faculty, I would like to thank this student for his great questions, his unwavering warmth, and the remarkable energy he brings to our classrooms every single day. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of this year's Faculty Appreciation Award, heading to Case Western Reserve University in the fall, Markin. The Wickham Award. Through a generously funded and thoughtful endowment, the Charles Wickham family has given a unique award to Charlotte Latin School to be given to a graduating senior. The recipient gets a check for $10,000 upon graduation from college, provided that he or she graduates with a baccalaureate degree within 5 years of graduation from Latin. Got to put a little hook out there, right? So, for travel after the recipient has received his or her baccalaureate degree. During this time, the recipient is encouraged to contemplate the future, as he or she will have the time to do so without the normal financial pressures of having to jump immediately into the job market. The recipient is chosen by a member of the Wickham family and a committee of teachers and administrators from Latin. While academic excellence is not the primary criterion, the recipient should have the capability for success in whatever field is chosen. The success hoped for is not necessarily financial, but success on a contributing member of his or her chosen community. It is further hoped that this student will become a community leader in some fashion. The uniqueness of this award is further enhanced by the fact that each member of the senior class is eligible for it, and each senior is carefully considered. This award recipient is a student whose success is measured not only by achievement, but by character, integrity, and the positive impact he has on those around him. Throughout his high school, this student has consistently demonstrated the qualities of a thoughtful and engaged community member. He is someone who naturally includes others, encourages participation, sets a high standard for what a commitment to excellence looks like. Friendly, genuine, and honorable, he leads with quiet confidence and respect for both himself and others. He shows courage when it is needed most, approaches every challenge with determination, and is always striving to grow and improve. Certainly, his 9th grade self is probably amazed at how far he has come and how tall he has grown. His willingness to lift others up, full connections, and contribute positively to his community reflects the kind of leadership and character that serve him well in whatever path he chooses. On the football field, in the wrestling room, or jumping farther than anyone at Charlotte Latin in 20 years, this recipient is a young man who shows up, stands strong, and never gives up on himself or others. We are thrilled to honor this year's recipient of the Wickham Award, attending the Ohio State University this fall, Niall Diggs. Head of Schools Award. Charlotte Latin's dedicated leadership program is the only one of its kind. We've developed courageous, honorable leaders, fueled by intellectual curiosity and guided by commitment to excellence. Who can navigate and thrive in a complex and global society. The Head of Schools Award personifies that belief. The recipient of this year's Head of School Award embodies servant leadership and a commitment to community. He is seen among peers as a glue that can bring grade levels together, leading in both formal and informal ways. He has been a supportive voice in the Spirit Club and is always ready to lend a helping hand. He very much adopts the school as his community. A friend recalls, he was one of my first friends when I came to Latin in 4th grade, making me feel comfortable and welcome. He is the type of person that can carry on a conversation with anyone and always brightens the room. attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the fall. Please join me in congratulating the 2026 Head of School Award recipient, Wills Hutchinson. Salutatorian. The salutatorian of the class of 2026 is, as one would expect, an academic powerhouse. When teachers characterize her work, the word masterpiece is used with some frequency. If you heard her speak at baccalaureate this past weekend, you heard the school's noted classicist. The Latin phrases roll off her tongue with ease, and had the salutatory been written in ancient Greek, she could have handled that with ease also. Yet, if you heard the full address, you also began to gain a sense of the multidimensional strengths of this philosopher, scholar, athlete. In the course of an extended geological metaphor, she made obvious her brilliance, yes, but also the empathy, open honesty, and collaborative spirit that made her a valued friend and teammate. The academic strengths of this senior math award recipient span the disciplines and for what we honor her. But her strength of character, respect for the value of each person, and determination to hold her own high standards for herself may be what make us so proud. There is no doubt, to borrow from her own words, that Williams College is gaining the kind of student and person who is worth being shaped by. Congratulations, Emily Chow. Valedictorian. Needless to say, the valedictorian of the class of 2026 could not have earned the accolade without extraordinary dedication to his studies and without pursuing them at the highest level. To do so along with a huge commitment to Fab Academy in his sophomore year, while dabbling with abstract algebra and differential equations in his spare time, and running cross country and track for the school, it's all extraordinary. And he is a STEM phenom who will continue the studies of mathematics and related subjects in his college years. He is not confined by that label. His abiding interest in classical languages has carried him through AP Latin and 3 years of ancient Greek study. And the gold and silver keys he earned for his scholastic writing submissions demonstrate not only his strength, but also his interest in the humanities as well. His work as a student brings those who know him well to describe him as taking studentship, understanding, and sheer mental ability to another realm. In him, the pursuit of excellence finds full expression. As his valedictory address made clear, his own pursuit of excellence is deeply rooted in the value he holds for family, country, and principles worth standing up for. It is clear that Yale University will be very fortunate to spend the next 4 years enjoying the presence of our 2026 valedictorian, Connor Cruz. Congratulations. Congratulations. Recipients, let's give them one more round of applause. On behalf of the faculty and staff, the administration, and the board of trustees of Charlotte Latin, it has been a pleasure to welcome all parents, family members, and special guests to the commencement exercises for the class of 2026. It has become a fine tradition to share facts about each class at these events. Allow me to share a few highlights. There are 145 members of this senior class sharing an impressive GPA of 3.86. The class submitted 1,358 applications to 173 colleges. Each senior submitted between 1 and 30 applications with an average of 9.4. They admitted to 162 schools and have chosen to matriculate at 81 colleges and universities in 32 states, Washington, D.C., and England. 11 of the 28 accepted seniors will attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. 8 will attend Auburn University. 7 will attend Clemson University, and 6 will attend North Carolina State University and the University of Alabama, respectively. This is only a small sampling of the destinations for members of this graduating class. In 2026, 8 seniors reported 240 merit scholarships at 79 different colleges and universities, totaling more than $16.8 million. As if rigor in academics and extracurricular work didn't keep them busy, 106 seniors participated in athletics, 54 in one sport, 44 in 2 sports, and 8 who were 3-sport student athletes. Latin boasts a total of 94 all-conference honorees, 45 of whom are seniors. While the all-state honorees for spring have not been determined yet, through the winter we celebrated 25 total honorees, 13 of whom were seniors. We celebrated 3 team state championships this year in girls golf, first in the program's history, wrestling, and boys golf, and we were state championship runner-ups in field hockey, volleyball, boys swimming, girls lacrosse, and boys tennis. 25 student athletes celebrated collegiate commitments, making that our highest total ever. This includes commitments to football, volleyball, golf, lacrosse, baseball, basketball, wrestling, soccer, swimming, and track and field. Latin boasts 3 CISAA Conference Athletes of the Year, 2 of whom are seniors. In their school careers over the past 4 years, CLS won 14 state championships, 13 runner-up state finishes. That is worth a round of applause. Come on. In addition to athletics, the class of 2026 boasts 8 seniors who are inducted into the Charlotte Latin Service Society. 4 gold keys were awarded to seniors in scholastic writing, as well as 4 gold keys in scholastics for visual art. A total of 15 seniors were inducted into the Edward J. Fox chapter of the prestigious Cum Laude Society, joined by 15 from this class who were inducted last year. 4 seniors joined the growing list of Fab Academy graduates, which requires the completion of 800 hours of college-level work and a capstone project respectively with local and global evaluation. 8 senior engineering students worked on internships, including Carolina Rehab and Rhythm Link. 5 seniors bravely completed long-term study abroad programs in South Africa, Bahamas, and SYA, Italy. 46 seniors participated in Latin travel programs to Argentina, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and South Africa. 12 seniors earned semifinalist status in the National Merit Scholarship Program. Community through school spirit is a virtue the class of 2026 has always championed. In a humble plea for comfort during their final steps as Latin Hawks, they concluded their senior year sporting administration-approved flip-flops. They're intelligent, they are leaders, though often in leisure wear. They are courageous, creative, talented, impressive, living up to this theme's curiosity. They are Latin. All right, good morning again. What a spectacular day to celebrate the class of 2026 and welcome to the finish line. Every year I stand at this podium and conclude hierarchs by speaking more to the parents than to the students. I usually ask the graduates to look out at the bleachers, to recognize the blood, sweat, tears, and tuition that get to these seats. I usually talk about the empty nest and officially an empty nester this year. And let me tell you, the house is very quiet. Today is going to be different because the class of 2026 demands a different approach. As I look out at 145 of you, I am struck by the distinct energy. You didn't just walk through your senior year, you rallied through it. You brought back a sense of school spirit and collective joy that we haven't seen on this campus in years. It's contagious, spreading from the upper school all the way down to the nest. You are a class of immense, staggering talent. 25 of you are going to play collegiate sports next year. Your college admission profile is one of the strongest we've seen. Our arts program didn't just perform this year, they shined because you were leading them. But talent alone doesn't change culture of a school. Alignment does. Spirit does. Which brings me to my song for this year. For those of you who don't know, I always pick a song that embodies the class. In late 1978, 4 sisters from Philadelphia walked into a recording studio. Debbie, Joni, Kim, and Kathy Sledge. The song for them, Nile Rodgers. The lead singer, Kathy, was just 19 years old, barely older than you are today. The producers famously refused to let her rehearse the lyrics before the tape started rolling. They wanted her delivery to be raw, spontaneous, and filled with genuine joy of a family that actually liked each other. The song, of course, is We Are Family. Great voice, by the way, I know. The song transcended the radio charts. The Pittsburgh Pirates adopted it as their theme song, blasting the clubhouse all the way to the World Series victory. Players locking arms, singing a disco anthem. Why? Because they realize that individual talent wins games, but a family wins championships. When Sister Sledge sings, "Living life is fun and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delights, high hopes we have for the future, and our goals are in sight." I don't just hear a 1970s track. I see Charlotte Latin class of 2026. Parents, I know we're all sitting here looking at our babies, wondering where the time went. We are holding on to those 5-year-old memories. But look at what they've built this year. They didn't just survive high school. They looked out for one another. They became a unit. Class of 2026, as you head off to your respective colleges, labs, athletic fields, and art studios, you are going to be tempted to focus solely on your individual goals. But don't forget the magic of what you did here. Look at the person to your left and your right. Sister Sledge saying, "Get all your sisters and your brothers with you." You brought us along for a heck of a ride this year. Thank you for bringing the spirit back to Latin. Thank you for showing us what it means to be a family. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Now I will turn over the program to Luca Bravo, Student Council President, who will introduce our speaker.
Good morning, yet again. I'd like to thank the esteemed faculty, staff, administrators, beloved friends and family, and of course, the distinguished class of 2026. Today, I have the great honor of welcoming and introducing our 2026 commencement speaker, Nikki Sands. Nikki's story, hey, oh yeah, please, round of applause. She's incredible. You'll soon find out. Nikki's story begins right here at Charlotte Latin. As a proud member of the class of 2014, she spent 12 years filling our cherished covered walkways with energy, creativity, and leadership. She competed in tennis and lacrosse, danced, sang in the choir, performed in musical theater, and co-founded the Sisters Program, a mentorship initiative for high school girls that continues to thrive at Latin today. Even then, Nikki seemed unwilling to fit into just one lane as she moved seamlessly between stages, sidelines, and service with a seemingly unbounded curiosity. That same spirit carried her to Elon University, where she studied sport and event management before stepping into a future that, at the time, looked anything but certain. Armed with little more than determination and a belief in herself, Nikki moved to Nashville, Tennessee with no job, no roadmap, and no industry connections, only the conviction that she belonged in the world of live entertainment. From there, Nikki's career began to accelerate at an extraordinary pace. Within months, she found herself working production on tour buses with country superstar Eric Church. One opportunity opened the door to another, and Nikki quickly became part of some of the most iconic names and events in entertainment. Her work has taken her behind the scenes with artists like George Strait, Beyonce, Journey, Justin Bieber, and Dolly Parton, as well as major events including CMA Fest, Bonnaroo, and the Super Bowl. But Nikki didn't just stop at working in the live events industry. She set out to transform it. In 2022, she founded Gigs, the career platform and media company transforming how the live event industry connects, hires, and grows. Today, Gigs is home to more than 50,000 vetted professionals and 2,000 of the largest companies in live events. It has helped fill thousands of jobs across concerts, festivals, tours, corporate events, and theater, and it reaches millions of people each month through its podcast, newsletter, docuseries, and industry nights. Along the way, Nikki's passion for the live events industry, paired with her commitment to inclusivity and innovation, has opened doors to some of the most respected voices in business and entertainment. She secured investment interest from Netflix co-founder Mark Randolph on a Shark Tank-style TV show called Entrepreneur's Elevator Pitch. And in 2024, she was named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in the music category, cementing her place among a generation of leaders redefining the industry. Class of 2026, please give an enthusiastic Charlotte Latin welcome to one of our own, Nikki Sands.
Wow, thank you, Luca. Man, good morning, everyone. Faculty, parents, siblings, friends, most importantly, class of 2026. I want to say how honored I am to be here and seeing my teachers and coaches. Wow. After spending 12 years here, graduated in 14, standing here today feels surreal. When I was sitting exactly where you all are right now, wearing the cap and gown, I remember feeling a huge sense of excitement to get out of here and go to college, but also a lot of uncertainty because graduating from a place like Latin is a little strange. You know, for most of your life here, everything has been very structured. Every year, you know what's coming. The classes get harder, the expectations get higher. There are new teachers, new teams, new activities, new friendships, and there's always a next step planned for you. And then graduation happens, and suddenly it feels like someone opens the door to the rest of your life and just says, okay, now go figure it out. And that's the beautiful thing right now, actually, is for the first time, your life really becomes yours. No one's laying out the roadmap for you anymore. No one's telling you exactly what to do, no matter how much your parents want to tell you what to do. It can feel very terrifying, a lot of pressure, but it's freeing because you get to decide now, you know, what you want to become, who you want to become, what motivates you to wake up, why you work. what matters to you, and what kind of person that you want to become when no one's structuring your life for you anymore. Here's something I wish I knew sooner. No one knows what they're doing. Okay. At 18, at 22, at 30, at 50, 60, y'all. Okay. No one knows. And so I'm standing here today as someone who's been in the real world for about a decade. And instead of pretending like I have everything figured out, I want to share 5 lessons that I've learned the hard way since sitting where I was sitting where you are now. Before I do that, I want to give you a little version of how I got here. So at Latin, I did a little bit of everything. Luca mentioned I played tennis and lacrosse. I was on the dance team, heavily involved in musical theater and chorus, which, by the way, incredible job, y'all. Can we hear it for them, please? Woo! Yeah. The arts here are unbelievable. One of my favorite memories was helping plan the concert in the quad with Mrs. Amy Zinn. That was technically my first gig, actually, that I got to work and put on. I didn't know that would be the start of my music industry career. But I didn't always fit in here. I spent a lot of lunches with teachers and Miss Klein up there, Mr. Estep. Um, but I think everyone feels that to some degree, trying to fit in, not totally feeling like you do. That was actually a huge reason why I started the Sisters program with Mrs. Hunter Murphy, which pairs upperclassmen and underclassmen girls for mentorship. And I'm so proud that it's still going today because it just came from a very simple place of wanting to feel seen and supported. So after Latin, I went to Elon University, go Phoenix, majored in sport and event management, and I got an internship at the Greensboro Coliseum. So when I was 19, I got to work my very first concert, and it was with Dolly Parton, the legend. So I walked into an empty arena and I watched it transform throughout the day. I watched the trucks and the buses roll in, the stage get built, the lights get hung, and the audio just filled the whole space. And I remember standing there thinking, this is a job? I could do this? Okay. And so in that moment, I realized I want to live and work on one of those tour buses. I want to get on a tour. In that moment, my parents were like, "You want to do what?" Okay. But I couldn't get enough. And I worked there throughout the rest of college. And my mentors encouraged me to move to a big music city. So the day after I graduated college, I moved to Nashville, Tennessee. I didn't know anyone. And I lived with strangers that I met on Facebook, which my parents definitely didn't love. But I just started working. I started at the bottom. We all got to start at the bottom. It was exciting, but it was so scary. I was homesick. I questioned myself constantly if I was being brave or if I was being totally delusional. I didn't have a plan, but I just kept going. I got any job I could get. So I started, setting up instruments at recording studios, working for promoters backstage, at concerts, working catering at festivals, production assistant for music videos. So in that world, everything is word of mouth, as much of life is. So you meet one person, they get you that next gig, and then you just keep building. So after about 5 months, I got my first opportunity to work with Eric Church on tour, which, by the way, I did hear that Eric Church gave the UNC Chapel Hill commencement. I had to turn that one down because I was already committed to y'all, but I heard he did a pretty good job. It's fine. All right. So from there, I worked with many other artists that Luca mentioned. What an honor to work with George Strait and Justin Bieber, Journey, and again, Dolly Parton, full circle, doing things that I never thought that was even possible. Over time, though, I noticed that this industry that I loved was really hard to navigate. Hiring was very inconsistent and chaotic, and there was no real system. So I saw there was a problem, needed a solution, and I was crazy enough to think, well, I think I can do that. So I decided to build one in 2022, and it's called Gigs, which is the career platform for the live event industry. So it gives the industry a job board, a professional network, a place for companies and professionals to actually interact and connect for the first time. So today, as Luca mentioned, we have over 50,000 professionals, thousands of companies, thousands of jobs filled, and we have a podcast, docuseries, newsletter. Our media reaches millions of people every month. Along the way, I was named to Forbes 30 Under 30, which was a crazy honor. I could not believe it. It opened doors that I could not believe. Helped me fly to Dubai to meet other leaders around the world on the 30 under, 40 under, 50 over 50 lists. So it was one of those moments where I was like, how did this become my life? It seems so wow, but I'm telling you, most of my life is late nights. It's lots of sacrifices. It's lots of tears. It's lots of questioning why I'm doing this. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's where I want to share 5 of the lessons that I've learned the hard way today. So, starting with number 1, you don't have to have the perfect plan to start. You just have to start somewhere. So when I first had this idea for gigs for this company, I didn't know how to build a company. I didn't know how to build a tech company. I didn't know how to hire developers or raise capital from investors. I didn't know how to do 95% of the things that I was going to have to learn how to do. But I couldn't stop thinking about this problem and how I really wanted to solve it. So I started writing a business plan, researching the market, asking questions, calling mentors, and trying to figure out if this idea really had legs. And that's how most things begin. You guys are going to have a lot of mountains to climb. New school, new friends, new routines, new pressure, new freedom, new decisions. And you don't have to know how to climb every new mountain before you take that first step. You just have to trust that you're going to figure it out and use your resources once you get there. That is real confidence. It's not knowing everything. It's knowing that you're resourceful enough to actually learn and humble enough to ask for help. It's brave enough to start and resilient enough to get back up and keep going. So I want you to know this too. Latin has given you a foundation. You may not realize it yet, but the way you've been challenged here, as I know you all have been challenged here by your teachers, your coaches, classmates, this whole community has prepared you to just figure things out. And it does not mean life will be easy, because it's not going to be easy. But you've been given the tools, and you get to decide how you use these tools. So number 2, choose to do hard things. This is something I wish, if I could go back and tell my younger self, this is what I would tell myself. This is not very fun to hear, congratulations on graduating. Now go make your life harder. Okay. But I really, really believe this. Hard things build real confidence. You all know this already, whether you realize it or not. You know the difference between taking the easy class and taking the class that actually challenges you. You know the difference between the teacher who pushes you because they know you're capable of more. You know the difference between the practice where you just kind of slide through and the coach that really pushes you to your limit to do things that you didn't realize that you actually were capable of. Those are the moments that build you, not because they're easy, it's because they're hard. And when you do something hard, you start building trust with yourself. So I think about it like this. If a friend said, "Hey, I'll meet you at the gym in the morning," and they don't show up over and over and over, they don't show up, you stop believing that they're ever going to show up. You stop trusting that. So we do that with ourselves. If you tell yourself that you're going to do something and you don't do it over and over, you stop believing you can. You stop trusting that you can. But if you tell yourself you're going to do something and you do it, you build that trust. And that self-trust becomes confidence. Confidence to believe that you can do hard things over and over, like get up early, run a half marathon. I mean, you guys are all incredibly impressive already, and you just will continue building that confidence. There have been so many moments where I've sat on the floor completely overwhelmed and crying, just thinking, why am I doing this? Why didn't I get a normal job with normal hours and a normal life? But every time I've gotten through this hard thing that I'm going through, I prove to myself, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. Those are growing pains. And my faith is something that I really lean on to help get me through that as well. So I encourage you to choose the harder path. Take the class that stretches you. Try out for the thing that scares you. Have the hard conversation with a friend. Wake up early. Keep the promises that you made to yourself, because the hard things refine you and actually make you stronger. Number 3, work hard and be impossible to ignore. Being impossible to ignore does not mean being the loudest in the room. It means the person that people remember because of how you show up. So let me explain here. When I first moved to Nashville, I started at the bottom. And every time I got a very small opportunity, I treated it like it was the biggest opportunity of my life. And so a producer noticed that I was working and I was doing the job no one else wanted to do and asked if I wanted to work at his recording studio. And then that opportunity led to new relationships, which led to new opportunities and new gigs. So one job, I got the opportunity to work catering for Eric Church at his Christmas party at his house. I treated this like a very big opportunity. The whole tour crew was there, and I just was like, "Hey, do you guys need anyone to go out on tour? Because I'm ready." And they said no, they were all set. So I followed up and I said, "I will work harder than anyone you'll ever meet. Just give me a shot." And they gave me a shot the next day at rehearsals. And next thing I knew, I was on tour with Eric Church. That opportunity completely changed my life, not because I was the most experienced or had the perfect resume, because I did not. It happened because I worked hard, I followed up, I stayed willing, and I made myself very memorable. So that looks like showing up early and staying late, asking questions, reading the room, having a very positive attitude, and doing the job that no one else wants to do. It's very easy in today's world to really stand out by doing these things. So, whatever room that you walk into next, be a sponge, learn everything you can, and do the small things well, because small things done with excellence have a way of opening very big doors for you. Number 4, relationships shape your whole life. The sooner you learn this, the better. I want to focus, I want you all to focus right now on finding a mentor. If you don't have one already, that's incredibly important, especially at 18. One of my mentors very early in my career was a man named Chris Bragg, and he had tour managed artists like Pink and Michael Bublé, and he was my manager at the Greensboro Coliseum. Something I noticed about him immediately was that he remembered everyone's name. Always. He always remembered everyone's name. And everybody, the custodial staff, the crew chiefs, the security team, the promoters, the executives, it didn't matter who someone was or what their title was. He would stop, he would use their name, and he would ask how they're doing, and he would make them feel seen. Something that I've noticed about the class of 26, that the teachers have noticed, the faculty, and I think you all have noticed, is this unity that you guys have. And that's because of your own effort to get there. I want to call out the leader of the Spirit Club, Wills Hutchinson. Where are you? Where are you? Let me see. Hey, Wills. Give it up for Wills. Yeah. So the Spirit Club, as I learned, was showing up for each other in ways that I know was not a thing when I was at Latin. Of course, football and basketball get all the love, people show up, but you all were showing up for each other at volleyball and softball and cross country, musicals and plays and wrestling and tennis. It takes effort to show up. You have to be inconvenienced to show up for each other. And that is so beautiful. And that is why you guys have this beautiful unity, the we are family spirit. That is really rare, especially in high school. So I hope that you all take that into your next phase of life. Relationships really do shape your life in ways that you can't predict yet. So when I first moved to Nashville, one of my very first meetings was a connection through a family friend with a man named Andy Moats. He leads the entertainment and sports division of Pinnacle. He's a very, very big deal in Nashville. So I sat down with him at coffee and I was just like, hey, how do I get a job on the road? Like, how do I get on a tour? And he was very kind and he was very helpful. But I remember leaving thinking, I don't think he's going to help me at all. That was kind of a waste of my time. And I didn't know how a banker was going to help me get on the road. But I stayed in touch with him. I updated him when I did get on the road. I updated him at my next career change. And then when I started my company, crazy enough, Andy became one of my very first investors. And since then, he has invested in my company multiple times and opened doors for me that I never could have imagined and I could have never opened on my own. So that one meeting 8 years ago, I almost dismissed completely ended up changing my life. And that's how relationships work. You don't always know which relationships will become meaningful years from now. So here's my very practical advice that my dad taught me actually. This summer, I really encourage you to start a spreadsheet and just write down all the adults that you know that have jobs and how you know them, what they do. Start asking people for 15-minute phone calls, an actual 15-minute phone call, super easy. And ask them how they got to where they are, what they wish they could tell you, anyone that they could introduce you to. And then send these people updates, stay in touch because they want to help you. People want to help, but you do have to ask. And then one more thing too on relationships. When y'all start interviewing for internships or jobs or leadership roles, whatever comes next for you, do not try to become the version of yourself that you think that they want. As cliche as it sounds, be yourself. because it really matters. I have hired so many people based on their personality and their work ethic and their attitude, not on their resume. You know, if you have to perform a fake personality to get the opportunity, you have to keep performing that once you get there. So be professional and respectful, but be you. You know, the goal is to build a life where you can actually be yourself around the people in it. Final lesson here, number 5. Closed doors are redirection. This is a hard lesson to learn. Sometimes closed doors are very painful and humiliating and confusing. And sometimes it feels like you did everything you could and everything right, and you still didn't get what you wanted. Some of those closed doors are going to happen sooner than you think. You might not have gotten into the college that you initially wanted. You might not get into the club that you want, or the sorority or the fraternity that you really want. Maybe the relationship that you thought would last forever ends. Maybe your first semester feels lonelier than you expected. Maybe the major that you picked isn't the right fit. In those moments, it's so easy to think, everyone else has it figured out but me. Again, back to the beginning. No, they don't. Okay. These closed doors redirect you to where and who you're supposed to be. You have to follow the open doors that God is opening for you. So, for example, when I didn't get the job that I really wanted, I was crushed. But then the very next day, I had this idea for gigs to start this company. So the door that I desperately wanted to open closed. And so then this new door opened and I went that way, and it keeps happening. This year I was in conversations with a large company about acquiring my company, about buying gigs. And for months I thought maybe this was the answer. Maybe this was, you know, all my hard work paying off and I could retire and get the beach house and be done with this life. But of course, the offer came in and it was not right. And I said no. And honestly, I really grieved that closed door because I already imagined what my life would look like on the other side of that door. But it forced me to keep dreaming. You know, I realized that that door closing didn't mean that my dream was over. It just meant that I needed to rethink things. I needed to dream again. I needed to pivot, see the company in a new way, to raise new capital, which I am raising a seed round if anyone wants to have a conversation. Sorry. And now I feel just way more excited about the future than I did before. So that's the thing about closed doors. Sometimes they're protecting you, redirecting you. Sometimes they're forcing you to become the person that you need to be to walk through the right door. And one day you'll look back at that moment that really broke your heart and realize that it changed your life for the better. So I want to take a moment before I finish for all of y'all to look up into the stands and find your people. Find your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your family, your friends, teachers, and coaches. And the waving, I wanted to cry so many times. The people that showed up for you, who supported you, who sacrificed for you, because Latin ain't cheap, y'all. They sacrifice for you to be here. Latin is an incredible place, and you probably don't fully understand that yet until you leave. I experienced that, but you will. So take a second and just look at them and remember, if you don't remember anything else I said, just remember to say thank you constantly to people. You can never say thank you enough. I really challenge you to write a handwritten thank you letter to the people who were in your corner and helped guide you through your life to get you to this next phase. It means so much more than a text or a call, a handwritten letter. You'll be really thankful that you did. So, class of 2026, you do not need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need to have the perfect plan. You just got to start and take that first step. Try things and work hard and be kind. Take risks, fail gracefully, be thankful, and keep going when things get difficult, because they will. But if you keep showing up for yourself and others, as you've already showed you're so good at, things will start to work out in ways that you can't even see yet. Congratulations, you all. Your life is just beginning.
Wow, Nikki, thank you. I mean, just an awesome message. Also, I love the 5 very distinct things that they can do. And we are so proud of you as well. So let's give her another round of applause. All right. It's time for the show we came for. It's time to award diplomas. All right, Dr. Taylor, Mr. Gurelic, and Mrs. Vanesti, please take your places. And let me get this out of your way here.
Good morning. Good morning, seniors. Good morning, family members and friends. So as our seniors begin making their way to the stage, I want to remind families, I know how excited you are, but please consider that every family wants to hear their child's name fully stated. So manage your applause accordingly. And I'll thank you in advance for complying. Lewawit Desta Alamu. Drew Rit Amin. Sila Bai. Ananya Banerjee. Matthew Dwayne Barber. Trent Michael Barber. Louisa Williams Beam. Charlotte Patricia Beaver. Natalie Esther Berman. Scarlett Elizabeth Black. Hannah Leora Blackhall. Avery Drew Bly. Luca Andres Bravo. Kevin Luke Budjakowski. Sarah Abbott Burns. Emily Ichung Chow. Abigail Faith Carson. Coleman Reed Casey. Anisha Chandra. Dallas Newberry Chapman Jr. Griffin Philip Cheatwood. Jolene Suing Cheng. Clara Tamar Sigler. Ramona Aviva Sigler. Maxwell Joseph Colasso. Connor Franklin Cruz. William Fairbanks Cutter. Riley Elizabeth Desai. Nail Renald Diggs II. Amelia Jane DeRoma. Peter William DeShulo. Griffin Patrick Donnelly. Noah Edward Downey. Marion Jet DuBose. Aaron William Dunnigan. Melanie Rose Edwards. Eloise Jeanette Irick. Samora Imani Elam. Sloan Bellengrath Ellison. Jacob Matthew Philpe. Richard McLaughlin Fletcher. Allison Taylor Flett. Matthew Allen Flynn. Miles Douglas Gathers. Zaina Bent Jabreen. Garrett Thomas Gottschall. Benjamin Michael Goldman. Wilbur Spear Gorelick. Hayden Betts Gotterer. Trenton Marks Gustafson. Evelyn Karen Hackstrom. Clayton Benjamin Hahn. Thomas Edward Hamilton. Catherine Abigail Hanna. Jaden Yair Hawa. Alice Bryant Haney. Lila Irwin Highsmith. Riley Marie Hill. Trevor Joseph Hoffman. Henry Porter Holland. John Reddick Olmeyer Jr. Davis Woodard Horde. Caroline Scott Hughes. Georgia Baker Hume. Gilbert Watts Humphrey IV. Knox Davis Hutchison. William Madison Hutchinson. Shiv Sundram Iyer. Alexandra Lee Jefferson. Sunny Jen. Joseph Thomas Jordan III. Luca Scott Kadevich. Robert Colin Konofsky. Sarah Bonner Kelly. Colin Scott Kiefer. James Webb Kaiser. Christiana Paris Lambus. Elena Gabriela Lapuente. Thomas Wright Lawrence IV. Aston Ross Lee. Charles Hunter Leffler. Daniel Farouk Locus. Lillian Caffrey Lund. Thomas Poston Lynch. Louis Adam Markin. Molly Caroline Martin. Ryan Emerson Marks. William Floyd McConaughey. Morgan Nicole McLaughlin. Hudson Kane Morrill. Dylan Ryder Mulligan. Kabir Aiden Nawaz. Jacob Ten Wen. Janice Abna Obeng. Sophia Hedgen O. Zoe Catherine Panzo. Evan Kramer Park. Riley Latham Phelps. Piper Tate Piscatelli. Panina Helen Polsky. Brooke Phillips Prophet. Hayden Dozier Prophet. John Charles Pillard. Naomi Elizabeth Randall. Davija Rupa Rao. Jacqueline Sushila Rao. Jacob David Rogers. Florence Emily Roper. Peyton Kiana Sammy. Caroline Wayland Sedlowski. Kelsey Lee Shaka. Wesley Gerald Seagraves. Catherine Claiborne Seaman. Harrison Robert Short. Walker Ellis Somerville. Avery Lee Simmons. Carlin Grace Smith. Sophia Ann Smith. Hendrick William Snoots. Emily Ruth Snyder. Benjamin Xander Spiegler. Raj Lalit Thakur. Charlotte Hunter Toon. Gabrielle Simone Turner. Maeve Allison Upton. Caroline Rose Ice. David Candler Vaughn. Catherine McMillan Wagner. Philip Tilford Wagner. Catherine Lauren Warner. Ethan Jeff Warren. Grant Clinton Warren. Catherine Elizabeth Webb. Fielding Charles White. Marisol Lee Wickham. Nicholas Reed Willett. Maxwell Adonis Moses Williams. Dylan Matthew Wilson. Ethan Ryan Worrell. Angelina Ying Yang. Isabel Yubei Young. Avery Isabella Yaus. Claire Jiahe Zhang. Lynn Zirong Chow. Ryan Rayong Cho. Will the class of 2026 please stand? Seniors, you may move your tassels. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Please remain standing for the singing of the alma mater, followed by a closing reflection given by Anisha Chandra.
As we come to the close of what has been one of the most memorable days of our lives, I truly still cannot believe we are here. Freshman me always knew this day would come, and yet somehow it still does not feel real. I remember walking into Latin for the first time, feeling small and unsure, convincing myself that graduation was so far away, and there was no point in even thinking about it yet. I almost thought we would be here forever. And now, standing on this stage, I am realizing forever went by faster than I could have ever imagined. The class of 2026 is not the same class that walked through these doors 4 years ago. We have been shaped, challenged, and changed. This year, especially, we navigated more changes than any class before us, and rather than letting it pull us apart, it brought us closer. The bonds we built, the moments we shared, and the way we showed up for each other through all of it, that is something real, something tangible. That closeness was not given to us. We chose it again and again, and I think that says everything about who we are as a class. I hope you all, like me, feel a profound gratitude for the people who made these 4 years what they were. The faculty, the staff, the administrators, and our families who poured so much of themselves into us. Their dedication ensured that we had an experience here worth looking back on, worth being proud of, and worth carrying forward.
because that is exactly what I hope we do. Carry it forward into college, into our careers, into our communities. The curiosity that Latin instilled in us, the resilience we found in each other, and the values that this school has woven into who we are. All of that comes with us into every room we enter and every life we touch. We will all not be in the same place again, the way we have been during our time at Latin, but I do not doubt that we will continue to show up in all the ways that Latin has taught us to, ready for whatever comes next. To the class of 2026, it has been the greatest honor of my life growing up alongside each and every one of you. I could not be prouder of who we are and who we are becoming. Congratulations to the class of 2026. We have done it.
Guests, thank you for being a part of this special day. Please remain at your seats until the music concludes. I hope you will join us in the Belk Gym for reception to follow. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Charlotte Latin School class of 2026. They're off.